Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Erik Spoelstra shares how Miami Heat did Thomas Bryant a favor with latest trade. On Sunday, the Miami Heat officially announced that they have traded big man Thomas Bryant to the Indiana Pacers. In exchange, Miami will have the right to swap second-round picks with Indiana in the year 2031. Bryant scarcely saw the court with the Heat this season before he got dealt. He suited up in just 10 of Miami's first 23 games of the campaign, and even when he did get his number called by Erik Spoelstra, he averaged just 11.5 minutes of action per contest. Spoelstra explained to the media on Sunday that the Heat did Bryant a favor by trading him to Indiana because he could have more opportunities to receive playing time with the Pacers. Bryant should help to fortify the Pacers' depth at the big man position behind Miles Turner. Additionally, if he can replicate his production with the Washington Wizards and Los Angeles Lakers earlier on in his NBA career, the trade could end up aging very well for Indiana. The 27-year-old was a very productive rotational big in the earlier parts of his time in the pros, even if injuries did hamper him at times during that span. During a four-season stretch playing for the Wizards, he averaged 11.0 points, 6.2 rebounds, 1.4 assists and 0.9 blocks per contest. Then, once his stint in Washington came to an end, he put up impressive numbers during his second stint with the Lakers. He appeared in 41 games with Los Angeles in the 2022-23 regular season before he was traded to the Denver Nuggets and averaged 12.1 points and 6.8 rebounds per game. Maybe the addition of Bryant will help the Pacers to get back on the right track from a winning standpoint. Not all that long after the Pacers made a surprise run to the 2024 Eastern Conference Finals, Indiana has a record below the .500 mark at 11-15 and sits as the number 8 seed in the East. Heat fans should try to keep tabs on how Bryant fares in his first few games played as a Pacer and wish him all the best as he continues his NBA career with a different franchise. NBA Daily Picks for December 16, 2024, Nuggets look to continue surge against Kings. After a solid 5-2 performance in last night's predictions, our season record improves to 156-84, bringing our accuracy rate to an impressive 65%. Tonight, we're gearing up for a 6-game slate and aiming to keep the momentum going. The evening tips off with the Miami Heat taking on the Detroit Pistons, a matchup where the Heat look to exploit Detroit's ongoing struggles. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia 76ers face the Charlotte Hornets, with Tyrese Maxey and company expected to assert their dominance. Next, the Cleveland Cavaliers meet the Brooklyn Nets in a battle of teams jockeying for position in the Eastern Conference. The Chicago Bulls then face the Toronto Raptors, with both squads looking to establish some much-needed consistency. Out west, the Denver Nuggets clash with the Sacramento Kings in what promises to be a thrilling high-scoring affair featuring some of the league's best offensive talent. Finally, the night concludes with the Utah Jazz taking on the Los Angeles Clippers, as both teams look to find rhythm. Let's break down these matchups and aim for another strong night in predictions. The Detroit Pistons host the Miami Heat at Little Caesars Arena in a matchup that pits two teams on contrasting trajectories. The Heat are enjoying a strong run, having won 8 of their last 11 games, including 4 straight victories. Miami's balanced attack is led by Tyler Herro, averaging 24 points per game, and the formidable duo of Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, who anchor both their offensive and defensive schemes. The Pistons, on the other hand, are struggling with a 10-16 record. Their recent blowout loss to the Celtics highlighted their issues, especially in three-point shooting and defensive lapses. Despite solid performances from Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, and Jalen Duren, Detroit has been unable to capitalize on home court advantage, winning only 4 of their 11 games at Little Caesars Arena. Miami's superior form, depth, and defensive discipline make them the favorites. If the Pistons hope to compete, they'll need a standout performance from Cunningham and an improved effort from beyond the arc to complement their interior scoring. The Philadelphia 76ers face the Charlotte Hornets at the Spectrum Center in a matchup of struggling Eastern Conference teams. The 76ers enter the game, coming off a tough loss to the Indiana Pacers that also saw Joel Embiid sidelined with a sinus fracture. Adding to their woes, rookie Jared McCain is out indefinitely following knee surgery. The Sixers will rely heavily on Tyrese Maxey and Paul George to generate offense and lead the charge defensively. The Hornets are led by LaMelo Ball, who ranks third in the NBA with 31.3 points per game. However, Ball's efficiency remains a concern, as he shoots just 43% from the field. Charlotte's offense ranks among the worst in the league, averaging only 106.6 points per game, with poor shooting and limited trips to the free throw line. Despite their struggles, the Hornets have played the 76ers close this season, losing 2 previous matchups in tight, low-scoring games. Philadelphia's defense will look to stifle Charlotte's inefficient scoring, while the Hornets will aim to exploit the Sixers' lack of depth without Embiid. This game promises to be a grind, but the edge may tilt towards the 76ers' more consistent defensive execution. The brilliant plan for the OKC Thunder to acquire Jimmy Butler Indiana one-year rental. The Miami Heat are reportedly open to trade offers for their star forward, Jimmy Butler. At 35, Butler is putting up solid numbers this season with 18.6 points, 5.3 rebounds, and 4.7 assists per game. With his $48 million contract set to expire, the buzz around his future is heating up, and teams like the Warriors, Rockets, Mavericks, and Suns have all been mentioned as possible destinations. But here's where things get interesting: the Oklahoma City Thunder are sitting at the top of the Western Conference with a 20-5 record. They've also made it to the finals of the NBA Cup, proving they're more than just a young, fun team, they're legitimate contenders. Bringing in a star like Butler could be the piece that takes them over the top. His defensive intensity and playoff experience would be invaluable for a team looking to make a deep postseason run. The Thunder also have a treasure chest of assets to work with, including young players and a mountain of draft picks. This puts them in a prime position to offer a deal that other teams simply can't match. Adding Butler to their already exciting core could make OKC the team to beat in the West. Alright, let's break down this potential blockbuster. The Miami Heat would be getting a solid mix of young talent and valuable draft picks. Isaiah Joe has been a reliable shooter, averaging 9.0 points per game with a 38% clip from beyond the arc. Cason Wallace, the sophomore guard, has shown promise with his defensive skills and playmaking ability, posting 6.9 points with 1.8 steals this season. Adding Alex Caruso brings championship experience and defensive grit, qualities that align perfectly with the Heat's culture, as he's been averaging 5.5 points, 2.3 assists, and also 1.8 steals a game with the Thunder. The inclusion of 2 first-round picks in 2025 and additional second-rounders in 2026 and 2028 provides Miami with the flexibility to build for the future or use as assets in further trades. For the Heat, sitting at a 13-10 record, this trade offers a chance to retool without entering a full rebuild. Jimmy Butler, at 35, will become a free agent for anyone to grab, so moving him now prevents the risk of losing him for nothing in the summer. By acquiring young players and draft capital, the Heat can remain competitive while planning for the future. And not only would the Heat be adding 2 young and potential starting pieces, but their own first-rounder in the summer plus the 13th-seeded Jazz's pick, so this would let the Heat tank and rebuild without any remorse for the rest of the season. On the flip side, the Oklahoma City Thunder, leading the Western Conference, would be adding a seasoned veteran in Butler. His playoff experience and defensive prowess could be the missing piece to push this young and dynamic team over the top. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Jimmy Butler? Leave your opinion in the comments.